This is Action Sports Jax First and 10 Training Camp, sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive personal injury law firm of the Jaguars.
It was Dewey's day at day 2 of training camp. Back-to-back interceptions in the same spot in the end zone. Both picks off Trevor Lawrence, working against Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram on the plays. The defense in Dewey looking good, and that means the offense did not look good. Stop it. We're 2 days in. Hi, everyone, and welcome to First and 10 Training Camp. I'm Brent Martineau. Well, we have to report what we see, and the offense is off to a slow start. Half a dozen turnovers in red zone work. So there'll be some attention on those guys tomorrow morning, looking to see if they bounce back heading into the weekend. Rinse and repeat from day one. More cloud cover this morning, so that was nice. Nice turnout in the stands. That's nice, too. And the defense is certainly ahead of the offense a couple of days in. The Jags are getting acclimated to football again, so these practices will slowly ramp up. There's a lot of competition in the secondary, and so far that secondary has done well, especially number 32, Tyson Campbell, who just signed that extension. Two ways to look at the red zone turnovers this early in camp. The offense has some work to do, or, hey, nice job by the Jags defense. You think we know the offense will be okay? We know less about this defense. It's under new leadership. Defensive coordinator Ryan Nielsen.
We've got just some philosophy things that have success against offenses. And then really our players do a really good job understanding situational football in the red zone. And our guys really understand, like, these are the plays that we have to defend. And so just a combination of those things. Takeaways in the red zone, like, that changes football games. It's huge plays.
Well, takeaways have been huge so far in a couple of days of practice. I asked this today on the Brent and Austin show while we were live at Jags Training Camp. Did the Jaguars have more depth on the front line defensively than they even did in 2017? Well, the quick answer is probably not, but it might make you think a little bit if you go through the depth chart. They have some studs on that side of the ball, too, including number 41, Action Sports Jax Olivia Tasley, with more from the cornerstone of the Jags defense, Josh Hines-Allen.
We heard it from the offensive leader after day 1 of training camp for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and now it's being reiterated from the defensive leader on day 2, as Josh Hines-Allen says that this is a big prove-it year for the team as they enter 2024, and they expect to be nothing but the best this upcoming season. 41 says this team is trying to do something that has never been done before, and in order to do that, they have to do things they have never done before, and it all starts with buying in on their new defensive coordinator to become the #1 defense in the league.
You know, he's taking that approach every single day. We do indies all the way up the team to focus on the details, from the hand placement to the feet, making sure that everything is in line, because every coach has their ways of playing, but for us, he's teaching us to play fast and play physical. Get your hands on somebody and strike them as hard as you can, as fast as you can, as many times as you can. And if we could keep that focus with the discipline, because the technique works, so we can stay disciplined through the heat, from early in the game to late, to the overtimes, to November, man, we'll be unstoppable.
He noted that if this defense can walk off those fields with a win every day, then the offense is only going to get better, because they're going up against a group of guys who aim to be the best defense in the league. For now, reporting at training camp, I'm Olivia Tasley, Action Sports Jax.
Well, Ryan Nielsen was interesting this morning when he talked to the media. He talked about how the Jags are trying to develop more depth, and that means mixing the second and third team players in with starters in case they need those guys like the tail end of last year. You have to have the back end of the roster ready, too. Nielsen will continue with no depth chart on defense. He did that in the spring as well. He says there's enough reps to work that part out the next few weeks. An offensive highlight, by the way, Devin Duvernay, who was signed primarily as a return man, got in the end zone a couple of times as a receiver today. He will replace Jamal Agnew's role, it appears. We're all over the camp conversation in real time, daily on the Brent and Austin show. We'll peek into practice tomorrow. Stuart Weber will be there while we host the show live from Best Bet St. Augustine. Get your weekend going early. Stop by for some lunch with us. The Brent and Austin show, 10 a.m. until 1 p.m., just part of the brand new Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. And, well, do you like the alternate helmets? White. They look sharp, but fans are upset they won't be worn with white uniforms. Instead, will be worn with black uniforms in Week 10 against Minnesota. We'll have that and Travon Walker one-on-one coming up right after this.
You're watching Action Sports Jax, 1st and 10, Training Camp. Sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive personal injury law firm of the Jaguars.
You know, if you would have asked me 10 years ago, would I be coaching high school football, I would have told you no. I think I'm really going to enjoy the high school end of it, just having an impact on young kids. But I don't know what the future holds.
Well, none of us do. Mr. Jaguar joined us on the Brent and Austin show today. Brad Meester, longtime center. He's now a head coach in high school in Iowa. Check out the conversation on the Brent and Austin podcast or on the show on YouTube if you missed it. Fascinating discussion about what makes a good center in the NFL. Always good to catch up with Brad Meester. Welcome back to 1st and 10 Training Camp. I'm Brent Martineau. Nightly edition the next few weeks at this time. Jaguars back at practice in the morning and again on Saturday before a day off Sunday. Travon Walker was pretty darn good a season ago. Double-digit sacks, and while the Jags collapsed down the stretch, he did not. Walker playing his best football of his career in the second half of last season. He was consistent. Felt like he had a sack or a half a sack every game in the final 8 games. He ended up with 10 in total, and many are hoping for more in 2024. Action Sports Jax, Marcel Robinson, chatting with Travon.
What I mainly focused on this offseason was just my hand improvement, flexibility, being at the top of the pocket, and just little small details. And I can't say that me putting on a little weight, I feel a lot more explosive. I feel faster. Obviously, I was thinking in my mind that it would be kind of reverse. I'd be a little slower, being a little bit heavier, but my body feels great. And obviously, just me I've been a heavier guy in college, so I felt like I was a lot more explosive when I was a little bit heavier. And like I say, it's just a little small details at this point. Now that I'm going into my year 3, it's just all about those small details.
Coming into year 3, a few changes. Obviously, one of the biggest, most notable changes, your defensive coordinator. Having Ryan Nielsen, him being a kind of defensive line kind of focused guy a little bit. What have you seen in him, and how is that interactions and the coaching been?
Ryan, he's one of those guys. He's very detailed. He's a great coach. I feel like the scheme that he brings to the players that we have on our defense, it fits a lot of us very well. I'm not saying that people didn't, but you know what I'm saying. It's just that he's one of those guys. He gets a little more into depth a lot, and I feel like that's going to help us a lot.
Maybe not getting too into the scheme and everything and assignment-wise, but the opportunity and the option to possibly have you move inside a little bit. You were pretty successful at times inside when you were at Georgia. If that is somewhere we see you, that's something you feel confident in doing?
Most definitely. Like I say, a lot of times that's a matchup thing as well. So obviously going into a week knowing the type of matchups that we're going to have, like I say, I do anything that the team needs for me to do to win.
We haven't seen him on the grass yet, but Eric Armstead, coming in, this is a guy who's got experience when you talk about what he's on the field, made it to a Super Bowl. What have those conversations been like, and kind of what's that camaraderie like in this early interactions that you guys have had?
Eric, he's one of those guys that he knows a lot about the game of football. I've been playing a long time. He obviously played D-tackle, he played in as well, so he has a lot of knowledge about the game, and that detail point comes back up. For him, he's very detail-oriented. He's brought to me my attention, just sets, schemes of offenses, what they do out of certain formations and things like that, just help take my game to the next level and be able to play a little bit faster.
Big Travon Walker fan right here. I think he's going to have a monster season here in 2024. Football to baseball, a championship game tonight in Jacksonville, and almost a perfect game. That story next. And family time at training camp. This is always fun to watch. It gets better as camp goes along because they haven't seen their family as much. This was just 2 days in, but some of the players chatting with friends and family after practice today and signing autographs, of course, for the fans.
You're watching Action Sports Jax, 1st and 10, Training Camp. Sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive personal injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Hey, City Councilman, the guy was a heck of a baseball player. Terrence Freeman throwing out the first pitch at the Coastal Collegiate Baseball League's championship game tonight. Got to loosen up that tie a little bit, Terrence. Former Ponte Vedra Shark Cade Item is going to play college ball at Oglethorpe up in Atlanta. He singles, drives into a couple to stretch the Dolphins' lead to 6-0. Dolphins looking good. The story tonight was former St. John's Country Day pitcher Jeff Henry. Perfect game going into the 7th inning. He's playing college ball at Marysville in Missouri. Still perfect with one out in the 7th when former Bartram Trail infielder Ethan Galimo just gets one over the bag. That breaks up the no-hitter and the perfect game. But the throw from Item gets Galimo at second. So 19 batters, he still faced the minimum. Then he came out of the game for a reliever. Heck of a performance by Henry. Dolphins win the championship 7-0 in the finale. Congrats to year 4 in the books for the Coastal Collegiate Baseball League. It's the year of Miles Russell on the golf course. He's had an unbelievable 2024. Junior Player of the Year, played in a Korn Ferry Tour event, played in a PGA Tour event, and now it's U.S. Junior Amateur time. Miles advanced to match play, and he won yesterday, and then he won twice today against two very good players. The 15-year-old from Jax Beach is now in the quarterfinals in one of the most prestigious golf events on the planet. If he makes it to the semis with a win tomorrow, he will get some TV time on the Golf Channel. The Stateside Cup is in Jacksonville on Saturday night at Everbank Stadium. Soccer fans excited about it. Tonight, the Jacksonville Armada and West Ham United hosted a training session, so getting everybody together to celebrate soccer and the big event coming up on Saturday. The Stateside Cup features various matches in the United States with English Premier League teams. Jacksonville hosting this weekend.
It just shows you, right? It just shows you how much the game has grown within the country, but also how much the game is growing within Jacksonville. It shows that there's a real interest in football here and soccer here in Jacksonville, and not only the sport's growing, but the love for the game is growing.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. There's a lot of soccer happening right now in the River City. The Wolves and West Ham will play Saturday at 7 o'clock. The Jacksonville Jaguars are a long way from playing a football game. I guess not a long way. They're 2 weeks from Saturday. We'll actually play against the Kansas City Chiefs in preseason game number 1. But they hit the practice field again tomorrow morning. Of course, we will be there. And then again on Saturday, off day coming up on Sunday. That's going to do it for First and 10 training camp here on this Thursday evening. We'll do it again tomorrow night. A look at Everbank Stadium and Daly's Place. Country music fan Sam Hunt was playing there tonight. Hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks for watching Action Sports Jax First and 10 Training Camp. Sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive personal injury law firm of the Jaguars.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.